Good morning, everyone. Thank you for stopping by the iTeach Hawaii booth this morning to learn more about our certification program. My name is Andrew Roselle, and I have the privilege to serve as the president of iTeach, and I'm thrilled to be with you, at least virtually, this morning to tell you about our program and hopefully answer some questions you might have about the program. We have about 40 minutes to talk this morning. I want to be respectful of your time. What I've done is I've invited Diane Huber to join me this morning and to provide a presentation of the program, give an overview of it. As we go through the presentation, if you have any questions, if you just drop them in the Zoom chat, I'll be monitoring it. And at the end, we'll do just a Q&A kind of panel discussion between myself and Diane. And we'll try to answer as many questions as possible as you ask them in chat. It might just be easier than popping on different video streams within the Zoom. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Diane. Diane, if you can just unmute yourself, I will share my screen so you can present your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. We are so excited to be with you. I'd rather be with you in person. I've attended these job fairs for several years, but we will make the best that we can of the situation. It is my pleasure to share with you a little bit about iTeach and iTeach Hawaii. I started iTeach in 2003 in Texas, and my objective was to remove barriers to the teaching profession. I was working at a large state university and wanted to help people who have a heart to be in the classroom to get into the classroom. So I started iTeach, and since then we have grown and expanded further than I ever dreamed. iTeach is the first and really only nationally accredited teacher preparation program that is not an institution of higher ed. We worked for that back in 2009 and have continued our accreditation first through NCATE and now with CAPE to show to not only our candidates, prospective candidates, school districts, that although we are a non-traditional alternative route to teacher preparation, iTeach meets the same rigorous requirements as universities throughout the country. So with that being said, let me give you some specifics on iTeach. We were approved by the Hawaii Teacher Standard Board in June of 2012. So we have been working on all of the islands since 2012. The process is really quite simple. We've removed a lot of the tedious paperwork and requirements. To apply to iTeach, you submit your official transcripts from a university, an accredited university, and we need to see a 2.5 GPA. You also must have passed a Praxis 2 content test. Now, this can be confusing because if you go to the ETS Praxis 2 webpage for Hawaii, it will say that you have to pass a Praxis 1 core test. That is for admission to an institution of higher ed, to a university or college. You have already graduated from an institution of higher ed. So if you can get out, we assume you can get in. So the Praxis core is not required. The Praxis 2 in the content area in which you wish to teach is required for admission. We try to process admissions as quickly as possible, and once your file is complete, within 1 to 2 days, you will know if you're accepted into the program. You are enrolled into your coursework immediately upon acceptance. There is no waiting period. We don't work that you apply now and you can't start your courses for 2 or 3 months. You start your coursework the day you're enrolled in iTeach. The coursework is going to focus on the pedagogy, the science of teaching. You know your content. You come to us with a degree in math, a degree in English. You know your content. We're going to teach you how to teach. We're going to teach you the stages of development of your students, how to do a lesson plan, how to make assessments, how to serve special populations. Now, throughout your coursework, the Hawaiian culture is going to be embedded into your coursework. That is a state requirement for Hawaii, and we have worked hard with the Kamehameha schools to make sure that the Hawaii culture is embedded in the coursework. Once you complete the first 2 courses, you are eligible to begin looking for a teaching position. You get an intent to hire form, which tells the DOE, the charter school, or the private school that you are eligible for hire. Now, many of you may already have an emergency permit and be teaching. You still must be accepted into the program, complete your first 2 courses before the process starts. So once you're hired, either in a DOE public school, a charter school, or a private school, we began your 2-semester field experience. This is where you're working as the teacher of record. We have a retired educator on your island come and observe you 5 times during the residency. Now, let me just say that during the COVID year or tenure that it's affecting education, our supervisors are trained in that if your school is virtual online, your observations will be online. If your school is functioning, but they do not want or feel it safe for outside visitors to come into the classroom, we will do a virtual observation. We have worked hard at iTeach to provide platforms for virtual observations, as well as to train our field supervisors the most effective and efficient way to do your observations. So I can say without hesitation that all of our observations for our candidates in all of the islands in Hawaii have been accomplished this year, virtual or face-to-face, but we have not missed anything due to the pandemic. So once you have completed your coursework, you've got your content test passed, you've successfully completed your field experience, we are proud to recommend you for your licensure. To go over, Andrew, will you show the content areas? As seen on our website, iTeach is approved by the Hawaii Teacher Standard Board, the HTSB, to offer licensure elementary, secondary English, secondary mathematics, secondary science, world language, physical education, health, and special ed. Notice the asterisk. If you are interested in getting certified, say, secondary social studies, this does not appear on our approved list, but under policy 0858, we can recommend you in a secondary content area. Now, some of you may say, but I want to teach middle school. I don't want to do secondary. We can work with the Hawaii Teacher Standard Board to recommend you for your middle school placement at this time. But these are our courses. You can look on our website or on the ETS Hawaii website to get the exact numbers for the test that you must register for. Let me explain. Under elementary education, there is one test, 5001, but it has components, 4 components to it: English, math, science, and social studies. All 4 components must be taken and passed for the test to be considered passed. If you will look under mathematics, there is a secondary mathematics, but if you just want to teach algebra, there's an algebra test that you may take and we can still recommend you. Under science, there's a general science, which allows you to teach chemistry, physics, biology. But if you want to teach just one of those fields, you may take the biology test, be hired, and we can still recommend you for that test in which your praxis test is taken and passed. Okay, Andrew, next one, please. One of my primary objectives was to remove the financial barrier to teaching. You are called, you have a heart to teach, and you shouldn't be in debt to teach and serve the children in your classroom. So we've kept our costs low, and I am proud to say, you're the first to hear this, that effective February 15th, we are lowering our cost from $5,000 to $4,500. That includes a $250 enrollment fee, and no other money is paid to iTeach until you begin your field experience, and we take the remainder of your balance, divide it by 9 or 10, however long your field experience is, and you pay us monthly. There's no interest, there's no hidden fees. But we also want to acknowledge individuals who might want to start paying for the program now. And in that case, if you enroll in a $99 monthly payment upon enrollment, the cost of your program is $4,000. So it is our objective to continually refine, improve our program without passing on any cost to our candidates. So this is exciting news. Hopefully it will answer some of those concerns. As a private for-profit entity, although we're nationally accredited, we're not an institution of higher ed, we don't qualify, you don't qualify for financial aid. Therefore, we keep the cost of our program low. Another hidden benefit wrapped up in iTeach is that you can pay $4,000, get your teacher certificate, and then if you wish to work on your master's, we have associations with several universities, one of them being Chaminade there in Hawaii, that you can transfer up to 9 hours of your coursework towards your master's in education. That's almost a savings of $4,000, which is the cost of the program. So we have worked diligently to try to serve our candidates, to not only get them to licensure, but to help them become lifelong learners. I'm not quite finished yet, Andrew, but that's the end of my formal presentation. Would you like to add something, Andrew, or are there questions that we need to start addressing?
So Diane, thanks for that overview. I certainly want to invite questions to come through, and as they come through, I can curate them either for myself to ask or Diane to ask. As we wait for any questions to populate, I wanted to mention and maybe highlight the fact that we are the oldest certification program in Hawaii that's not associated with the university. There are great programs that I have had the privilege of working with my colleagues at BYU and Manoa and Leeward community. There's a lot of great programs on the island. We happen to be the oldest non-university on the island. We've been there 9 years, looking to celebrate our 10th anniversary next year. And I will say in the past 9 years, there's been other programs that have tried to emulate us coming to the state. And you can certainly see by just the agenda for today, there's other opportunities for you to sit in on other programs. I know Rennie at iteachHAWAII has a great program, and I'm familiar with, I don't know if they're going by Teach Now or Moreland. I don't know how their approval is in Hawaii, but they also offer a very similar service as we do. And so I think it'll be great for you to look at the different programs out there to analyze which one is best for you. And I would love to get the opportunity to earn your business to us. I think we have the unparalleled value, especially in cost. iteachHAWAII and Teach Now are both going to be at least $1,000, if not more than us. And so we try to be competitive to earn your business. And so I really appreciate you listening to the presentation today. I'm anxious and happy to answer any questions you might have about the program and talk through the the route in which we can get you certified and be teaching, because at the end of the day, our mission is solely on the kids in the classroom. We want them to have the best teacher possible. We believe we have the best training for you to be the best teacher. And so if you're looking to be an effective teacher and where you're stressing out more about kids learning than how you're teaching, then I think we can get you in a situation where your time and energy can be on the kids and not too much on schooling. So with that, Diane, we do have a couple questions. I'm gonna ask them. And
can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
So to let you know, although we don't have an office in Hawaii, Andrew and I travel, well, when we can travel, to come visit and work with our supervisors. We have field supervisors on each island. They are all retired educators who love coming into the classroom and working with you. So it is not a problem, whatever island you're on. Even Lanai, we have teachers there, and we observe there. Also, to let you know, as we transition to the new pricing schedule in February, we're also transitioning to a new coursework updated, and the instructor for that, I am so proud to say, is Carolyn Duran. And that name may not mean anything to you, but she's recently retired from the Hawaii Teacher Standard Board. She's been actively involved in teacher preparation for many, many years, and she will be your instructor. I serve right now as the processor for any questions you have. When you email admin HI, those come to me and I answer, and we really pride ourselves that during the work week, we will answer all of your emails within 24 hours, because we know if you're emailing, it is very important and we want to get back to you in a timely manner. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, so Diane, the first question is from Sue. She has a BA in art education, and she's interested in teaching secondary English. Does iTeach prepare me to teach English?
Well, Sue, that's a great question, and I'm sure others might have the same. As a non-traditional alternative route, we are not preparing you for your content. There is no way I can teach you in 7 instructional courses everything you need to know to be able to teach 7 through 12 secondary English that you would have learned in college. So it is quite simple for people to make the transition from one field to another. We recommend some test prep programs, but iTeach is not going to prepare you for your content, because you must have that test passed before you ever come to iTeach.
Yeah, and maybe to add on to some of the value we offer, it's not probably well publicized on our end, but one of our divisions with iTeach is the teaching channel. So those are our colleagues that we work with on a daily basis. We're the same company with just different names. And so one of the things Teaching Channel allows us to do is to provide you master level teachers in the classroom. And so where we focus on pedagogy, not methodology, in terms of teaching a specific subject, we do have a robust catalog through the Teaching Channel to provide you lessons that an English teacher is teaching to their students. So if you wanted to go see someone teach Shakespeare, we actually have the ability to show you a master teacher doing such things. And so I think, although not the core competency of iTeach to provide methodology in, say, English or something else, we do certainly not want to leave you on an island when it comes to methodology specific questions and training that you might have. And so we have different partners and even some within their own company, like Learner's Edge, which provides some continuing ed, as well as the Teaching Channel, which provides a lot of videos that you would have free access to. If you went to them directly, you pay them. So included in our program is free access to the Teaching Channel. And so that will be available to anyone who enrolls in the program.
And when you made the cute comment about leaving you on an island, let me say that we don't require the face-to-face component. You're not going to have to travel from the Big Island to Oahu for a meeting. There may be some requirements by ETS of the testing, but I think they're getting so much of that you can do from your home computer, but it's not a part of our program to require you to travel to come to face-to-face meetings.
Yeah, so Tammy's wondering what other programs or universities that we work with. And I can tell you right now, just to jump in, is we have 3 partnerships currently. One is for the American College of Education, and it's a Master in Ed. One is Grand Canyon University, or GCU. It's also a Master of Ed. And then we have Chaminade. And so there are different price points and different value opportunities for each of those. But those are the current 3 university partners we have. And I can tell you on the back end, we are talking with more university partners every week to make that list longer and provide even more options and flexibilities for degrees and credit hours and those things. But right now it's ACE, GCU, and Chaminade there in Oahu. One other question is, Diana, maybe I can toss this to you, is what if someone was to do pre-kindergarten? Are we able to certify at the pre-K level?
That's a great question. The elementary certificate there in Hawaii does cover the early childhood. But let me, in full disclosure, and the DOE has asked us repeatedly to do this. What I'm going to say was effective before COVID. I can't tell you the impact COVID is going to have on future teaching. The universities in Hawaii produce many, many elementary teachers, an abundance of elementary teachers. There's not been a shortage of elementary teachers on any island, but we still have candidates who are great in selling themselves and presenting their attributes and being hired at the elementary level. Few, but we do have some hired. We have more elementary hired in the private schools or in the charter schools or in the remote areas of Maui, Lanai. But we do certify elementary. There's just not as big a need for an elementary certificate as there is for a special ed certificate.
So I'm getting a notification that we have 8 minutes left. I've upgraded the account. I don't know if that's going to last or not, but we'll work with the 8-minute countdown. And if we get extra time, then we'll thank Zoom for acknowledging that. So one other question, I think actually 2 people or one person's asked twice. Nope, 2 different people, is TESOL. Do we do a TESOL certification? What does that process look like?
Yes, and I think I ran that together on the slide. We do offer TESOL, and that stands for Teaching English as a Secondary Language to Students. So in some places it's called ESL, Hawaii calls it TESOL. So that is in Hawaii an initial certification where if you were hired to teach a language that is outside of English, you can do that with the TESOL certification, and yes, we do offer that.
So a couple of questions that I'll hop in and answer off the top is one, Ashley asks how long are the courses, and the courses are completely self-paced. So when you begin, they scaffold onto one another. So you'll enroll in the first course. Once you show competency in that course, you move on to the next course, and they kind of get harder as you are learning more, and we can examine you over more things. There's 7 core courses. They are self-paced. I would say typically an individual will take 3 to 4 months to complete them all. You can take longer, you can do them shorter, and they're not all required to be completed before you're eligible to earn a teaching position. So we required the first 4, I believe, to be completed in order to satisfy the prerequisites.
First 2.
And then, oh, first 2, even better.
The first 2. Mm-hmm.
So the first 2 get completed, and then you can actually be teaching in the classroom and completing the remaining courses. So we certainly encourage you upon enrollment to get the first 2 done so that you can look for a job and secure a position, and then go from there on completing the last ones as time permits. And then I saw someone ask about needs and where the needs are. For those not familiar, Hawaii has 1 district. And so as you look for teaching positions, it's highly centralized. And then they can, once you apply to the district portal and get into their pool, they can let you know what kind of schools are available to teach at. And then there's private and charter schools that you can certainly explore to see where the specific needs are at. Diane, I'll toss one back to you. And if you could, and if you need help, I'm happy to help out. But this person asks, can the payments be made in amounts larger than $99 so it doesn't take 40 months to complete the payoff?
Well, first, let me say it's not 40 months. I hope you get certified and are teaching before that. It's $99 a month until the time you're hired. So say you were in the program 5 months and you paid $99, or you pay almost $500. That would be deducted from your $4,000 fee minus the $500. So you have an outstanding balance of $3,500. That is divided over the length of your field experience. So 35 divided by 10 is about $350 a month. You have to have the program paid for before we recommend you. And 40 months, no. Once you're hired, we divide the balance by the number remaining months in your contract.
Yeah, so once you get hired, your payment amount will bump up just a little bit, but you still get the $500 savings off the total cost, and then whatever payments you've made, you can lower that. So typically, the average cost on the $99 payment plan once you get hired is under $300. Is typically what an individual will be paying, with the expectation it gets paid at the end of that first year. Next question I have for you, Diane, is Daryl is asking that he has a degree that's not in special ed. Is he still able to pursue a special ed license?
Great question. Let me just say, in the event we get cut off, admin, ADMINHI at iteach.net. I will be monitoring that email the rest of the day. So if you have a question, please feel free to shoot me an email if we don't get it addressed here. So for special ed or any content, your degree does not matter. All Hawaii requires is that you hold a conferred degree. Then the teaching area is determined by the test that you pass. As an example, you may have an English degree, an art degree, but you want to teach special ed. If you go past that special ed test, then you are eligible, you've demonstrated your knowledge, and you are eligible to move forward with special ed. If you have a business degree, but you want to teach math, that's not a problem. The teaching content area is determined by test passed.
Yeah, Sarah, that's a good question that you have about the email. It's adminhi@iteach.net. I'm dropping it in the chat now so you can just visually see it, copy and paste it. I highly encourage you to make Diane busy this afternoon with your questions, and we absolutely love listening and answering any of those. I'm going to scroll through to see if we have any other questions. Diane, while I'm scrolling through, I see one here. Do we certify librarians, or does that require a certificate that you're aware of?
Let me say, we do not. It is not an initial certification in Hawaii. You would have to contact the Hawaii Teacher Standard Board and ask them the requirements for certification there. But it is not an initial certification. It may be an advanced or an add-on. I've just never seen that across my desk.
One other question that I saw kind of at the top was about Teaching Channel. It is included in the cost of our program. So that's probably a couple $100 over the lifetime of our program savings that you get by accessing the Teaching Channel. And as you work through the program, you will be using the Teaching Channel to provide video reflections. We also use that for peer-to-peer interactions as well, that we can get formative feedback on some of the things happening in your classroom. And so we leverage the Teaching Channel not only for its library, but also it's the sharing of videos. They have a great iPhone app that we use and have teachers use as well. After the program, it's not included in the cost of the program any longer. It's only when you're active with iTeach that you have the free access to Teaching Channel. However, they will provide our alumni discounts, so we can certainly look into that. And Teaching Channel right now is aggressively looking for district buy-in. And so we're really hoping that the District of Hawaii would also buy for their teachers just across the board. We think it's a benefit for all teachers. That's a longer conversation, obviously, for a district contract, but we certainly are going to try to do that. Zoom is pestering me with 1 minute left, and so I'm not sure how that's possible since I pay them. However, I wanted to answer Daryl's question real fast because it's a good one. Apply anytime. 24/7, 7 days a week. We fill out the application. You can enroll anytime. There's no deadlines. There's no enrollment windows. Whenever you're ready to start, we're ready to help you. So this is recorded, so hopefully you can watch it again. Hopefully have noted the admin hi@iteach.net email address. We will be monitoring that obviously today and then the upcoming days as well. But certainly, Diane, thank you for presenting today. Thank you for joining us. We look really forward to helping you become a certified teacher in Hawaii. Thank you very much.
Have a great, great day. It's been our pleasure. We love what we do at iTeach, and it would bring us great joy to help you achieve your objective of teaching there in Hawaii.
Enjoy the rest of the conference. Hope you have another a lot of other items and you're learning a lot. Certainly look at Teach Now and iteachHAWAII. Compare us. We'll win. I promise we'll do our best to earn your business. And I think we are the best, and looking forward to seeing you pop up and enrollment in our window, in our program. Thank you.